In today's video, I'll be spending 100 days in Red Dead Hardcore mode. This mode changes many things from the normal experience, like making the game overall more realistic and a lot more difficult. In this mode, your health is decreased massively, meaning you have to play gunfights a lot more safe, many more of store items being a lot more expensive, and selling prices are lowered. Also, many of the items are harder to come across, Deadeye will not naturally generate over time, and much more. This adds a much needed challenge to the Red Dead experience, and since this game just came out on PC, it means I will be playing the story for the very first time. And with all that being said, let's spend 100 days in Hardcore Red Dead. I started day one by landing in Blackwater, and yeah, for the most part, day one is basically just the intro. So right after arriving in Blackwater, I would get on a train and go all the way to Armadillo and meet up with this guy. I thought it was Uncle, but that is definitely not Uncle. And we both went to Fort Mercer, and this is where Bill's gang is at. And basically, you just kind of sit at the front gate, do a bit of talking back and forth, and then get shot. So that's about it. But you do get saved by this farmer, and you have to pay back your debt by doing a bunch of random chores. So yeah, the first, I would say about 10 days are just kind of nothing going on. A lot of story missions, and there's not much else you can do in open world. But for right now, I'd just be doing random things. And I also got my weapons back, where the first thing I tested them on was some rabbits, but I popped off. I mean, I hit every single shot, and I don't know how I got this long shot, but somehow I was able to get this guy down. And I also got introduced to my living space, quarters, I don't know what you want to call it, but there's a bunch of places you can buy around different towns where you're able to change your outfit, save the game, and also fast travel to whatever destination you need to. So it's super convenient. And here on day 3, first thing I had to do was a horse race. But fortunately, it was actually pretty easy. If you time your stamina enough, there's no way you can really lose. And right after that, I made my way to Armadillo, where I made my way to the doctor's office, and I also took a look around town. I did not have any money for this, so yeah, the gunsmith was gonna have to wait a while, but I checked in with the sheriff, and I immediately got the gun aimed at me. So that was, that wasn't great, but yeah, I rid out with the sheriff, or I rode out. There you go. That's proper English. Well, I went to go do my first bounty. Now, usually bounties are not a part of missions. They're just kind of something separate. But for this one, it was actually a part of a mission. And with hardcore mode, it makes it a little more difficult. So I ran out, and I don't even know what I was doing, and I instantly got killed. But I was able to retry and shoot him in the leg, which automatically ended the mission. Usually, you'd have to lasso the enemy, but I guess for this one, it's a little bit different. And after that, I randomly came across this treasure map guy or explorer, where I was able to get his treasure map, and it was a very simple map where I got a reward, which was a gold bar, which is not too bad. It was only worth about $100, but starting off, since I have literally nothing, it was not too shabby. And right after, I made my way back to the sheriff, where for this part, I had to go in this valley and just take out a bunch of enemies. Now, I will warn you, unfortunately, this game does not have a lot of unique gameplay. Since it's such an old game, it's basically go to a spot and shoot a bunch of people, but I mean, I guess that's fine. But yeah, that was the whole mission. And on day 4, I met this guy, and he's just crying by the, what are you doing? I made my way up to this hill, and there's dead remains. I would come back here multiple times because it's a part of a string of missions, but I have to wait a little bit for that. And I made my way to the gun store. I didn't know if this was the best purchase, but I got myself the double barrel shotgun. I found myself getting a decent amount of shotgun shells, and with no shotgun, it's basically useless. So I bought that, and I also found this guy laying on the floor. This is a big mistake. This guy just is kind of yapping all the time. I helped him back to the town, and I also found this guy for a side quest, and this guy needed some property or whatever because there's a bunch of water, and apparently, rare commodity in the desert. So I was supposed to go pay this guy. It was like $200. I do not have $200. So I just tried to shoot him, and that actually did not go well at all. So I had to reset and kill him again. But this guy was not too happy that I shot the person who he was trying to buy the property from. But you know what? It's okay. And on day 5, I made my way back to the McFarland Ranch, which are the ranches that helped me in the beginning. And I was basically just doing a couple chores, like bringing these cows somewhere. And unfortunately, I got killed at a drive-by shooting in Armadillo, so that, that happens. And I also drink some of the potion that Mr. Dickens gave me, so that's pretty good. But here on day 6, I did a little bit of hunting. Not super great for money, but I mean, it's better than nothing. And I would also continue to do some more story missions. So for this one, I had to clear out this house. It was full of enemies. And as I pushed on, I ran into Bill's gang again, where basically you just got to shoot a bunch of them, take cover, and that's basically all the gameplay. And then I don't know what this is, but this happened. And in the evening, I tried to break a horse, and this is very difficult. I don't know the strategy on how to do this, but I basically just go left and right until it works. So yeah, I don't really know. And here on day 7, I found this prospector guy. Weird guy, but yeah, I followed him, and he's already leading me down a bad path. I was forced to steal somebody's horse, so I automatically got a wanted level. This is completely unnecessary, but I guess. And yeah, he got his hands on this guy, Moses, so it ain't looking too good for me. And here on day 8, I made my way to Tumbleweed, and yeah, it did not go well. I got shot immediately, and then right after that, I got shot again. But eventually, I was able to clear it out. And Tumbleweed, unlike in the second game, is just completely barren. So Tumbleweed and Armadillo are basically completely swapped. And I also just kept exploring, where I found myself another hideout. And after a bit, I was able to clear that out. Now, you don't really get anything for clearing out the hideouts for the most part. It just kind of adds to the trophy, I guess, or like the completion percentage. And I also finished off this stranger mission where there was the bones by the hill. Basically, there's just this cannibal guy here. So as you're about to eat a guy, you know, I just shot him because, you know, why wouldn't I? And after that, I did a bounty where all I did was bring him back to the McFarland Ranch. And on day 10, I herded up some cattle, so I don't know why that's such a like common mission to do in this game, but you know, had to do that. And I also had to save this burning barn. Well, I guess I didn't really save it. I just kind of got the horses out of there. And I also went over by Thieves Landing, at least around that spot, where I found a bunch of wolves and I took them all out, which I got plenty of pelts from. And now I continue into the night where I just kept hunting. And on day 11, I picked up a chest and it had one of the outfit parts, or one of the scraps, I should say. And yeah, once again, I did a bounty. I keep doing bounties a lot. You get some decent money out of it, and it's fairly easy. All you gotta do is take out some enemies and capture up the guy. And I brought it back to Armadillo. And with a decent amount of money, I did buy myself the bandolier. I was just getting max ammo all the time, and it's kind of useless if you can't use it. So that's why I got the bandolier. And also this bandit guy showed up, so we had to do like a hostage trade or whatever, and that did not go well. They just immediately started shooting me. So, and on day 13, I sold off all the random animal parts that I had, and I also met up with this guy again where I did a race. Fortunately, I had the Hellcat, so it was pretty easy, except at the very end where I almost messed up, but fortunately I got first place. It didn't give me anything, but you know, I did get first place. And I also met up with this guy, the funny man, that's what he's called, and he shows up a lot more, and he just in the most random spot location. Yeah, he'll just pop up time to time. And I also did another horse breaking job. You just get a little bit of cash out of it. I was kind of just curious on what it was. And here on day 14, I was actually able to get into a duel. I've been waiting for this for quite a while. It's required to get an outfit. So overall, duels are quite easy. All you do is draw first and then just spam the shoot button. And for the rest of the day, I did this horseshoe game. This was very annoying. So after failing multiple times, I decided just to give up and come back later. On day 15, I got myself a scrap from the tailor, and I had plenty of outfits to get. The only problem is a lot of them require like little mini games or gambling. I am horrible at it, so those are going to be the hardest parts, and a lot of them I wouldn't even finish. And at nighttime, I also ran across this guy. He wanted me to pick a bunch of flowers, and that was pretty much what the entire day consisted of, just picking a bunch of flowers. And here on day 16, I went to this hideout where I'm supposed to get a machine gun. I cleared out all the enemies, and getting into the house, there was literally nothing there. So yeah, that was not worth it at all. And I was trying to play poker because it's required for a outfit that you can get, but yeah, I have no clue how to play. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm not gonna watch a YouTube video on how to do it because that's too confusing. So this outfit would never get completed just because I have no clue what I'm doing. And I also did another bounty. Quick little bounty to do. Take out enemies and capture them up. It's pretty straightforward. And yeah, turn them into the sheriff. And on day 17, I did a bit more hunting and just a bunch of random stuff. Like taking out this hideout. A lot of hideouts in the game, so there's plenty to clear out. And I escaped by a minecart, but there was this guy that was on the track, so Jelly Roll was kind of in the way. So I had to shoot the TNT. It wasn't a problem. And this is where I would get the machine gun. And this is how you kind of go to Fort Mercer and take out all the guys, but that'd be a little bit later. And on day 18, I picked the last flower I needed. And I made my way over to the swampish area by Thieves Landing to meet up back with this guy. And this was definitely interesting.
It's my other half, lovely Annabelle.
So that was that cycle. I saw that kind of coming, but you know what? It was... Yeah. And on day 19, I just smacked this guy with a pistol. But anyways, he leads me over to the bridge and over to this spot where there's a bunch of ammunition. And this would be once again used for the Fort Mercer raid, along with the machine gun I just got. So not a lot of gameplay variety. It's just shoot a bunch of guys. It's pretty straightforward. And you get all the ammunition from it. Oh, and I also tried out this horseshoe game again. This is an annoying game, but once you get it down, I was able to finally figure it out, and I won for the first time. And just like that, there was another challenge done for the outfit. So that was nice to get out of the way. And here on day 20, West Dickens ops pulled up or something like that. So I had to shoot him. And I did another horse race. This one was absolutely a breeze. And on day 21, I did another bounty that there's not much to say. Just shoot the guy and lasso him up. And I also finally did the raid on Fort Mercer. Now for this raid, I would have to get in the back of the wagon, and this is what the machine gun would be used for. So all you do is go in the fort, and then you just start shooting everybody. So it didn't actually work out that well because I died actually right away. But eventually I was able to take out all the guys, and it's basically just a shooting gallery. But unfortunately, Bill was not there, so I have to keep searching for him. And on day 22, I took a boat all the way over to Mexico. This is basically like another half of the map, so it basically doubles your area. So there would be a lot to do in Mexico. And after pulling up to a town at night, these three guys, they were just saying whatever. And this was a little far. I don't know. but I guess John just doesn't care. And I also met Landon Ricketts here, basically just like some old like gunslinger guy. And I was supposed to shoot these bottles, and I shot this guy's bottle, and he crashed out, but it's fine. And on day 23, I made my way all the way east of the map, where I basically just kept exploring around. I took a look at the gunsmith, and oh my gosh, the prices were absolutely insane. Now, as your fame goes up, or your aura, the prices will go down. So for right now, I would not be buying them. Basically, you do a ton of missions with him, and you work for like the Mexican army, I'm pretty sure, or maybe just like some militia group. But for the first mission, I had to defend this train with not a lot going on. It's just shoot at the other guys that are shooting at the train, and that would essentially be the whole mission. And at the very end, you have to stop the train from going off the bridge. And on day 24, there was like no footage. All I had was me lassoing this horse, and that was about it. And on day 25, I met up with I guess a higher ranking general guy, and the first thing I had to do was go to this small town and light fire to all the houses. So already not doing great work in Mexico, but it's all right. And basically I'm fighting the rebels, but eventually I'm just going to be working for both sides, just trying to get Bill. So we go up on the mountain and storm this fort, or eventually we take it over. And on day 26, I had to do another mission, and this guy is always smiling. I don't know why. It's just some random character. He doesn't even say anything, but yeah, he's always doing this weird smirk. Okay, I thought I mentioned that. And once again, it was another train mission. I mean, this just happened, but, you know, I guess there's another one. And for this one, you just have to get on the Gatling gun and shoot as many enemies as possible. So, yeah, there's just very little variety in these missions. And on day 27, I met up with Landon Ricketts again, where we went on a train. And at night, we went into this small little cave or valley where we had to take out these guys. And that was the whole mission there. And I also ran upon this guy with the weird hat. I'm not sure who this character is supposed to be, but he's just called a strange man. And he shows up again. But basically, all you got to do for this mission is go give some money to this nun. And I don't know if this is the same nun, because it says, I know you, and the nun says that in the RDR too, so I don't know if this is the same nun, but I wouldn't be surprised. And on day 29, I had to help out the rebels, so I'm like working on both sides here, and I'm just swapping off pretty much every other mission. So for this one, I had to get to the port, but you have a limited time, and this was actually a little bit difficult, but there were a bunch of roadblocks in the way. Not like the game roadblocks, but not the, you know, whatever. And on day 30, I went back to this one hideout. It was for a mission, but this time I'm just doing it for free roam. And I cleared out Tesoro Azul. I think I said that right. And at nighttime, I went to go do a bounty where I turned him in, and I found this guy with the funny accent. And this random side quest would actually give me a ton of money, but that would be a little bit later. And on day 31, this is all I had. This was at the pause screen, so I don't know what the day actually was, but this is all I have. And on day 32, and I bought the $500 shotgun. Now, I know it's a lot, but it is a very good shotgun. And also, since I had like the extra aura, it was at a discounted price. So right after that, I did that. I went to go take out some rebels, and I set fire to some ships. And just like that, that hideout was complete. And I did like a poker game where it was automatically you were gonna win no matter what. Still wasn't paying attention to the directions because I wouldn't know how to play anyways. This is not gonna help me. And this guy thought I was cheating, so he crashed out, and then, you know, pointed a gun at everybody. So then I had to fight him in a duel. It was like light work. It was so easy. But then I had to take out all the other enemies. And I also had to free these two guys from the army. So I chased down this wagon and took out the driver and got him over to the American border. And on day 35, I wanted to get more of these outfits, but they were just kind of hard to get. But I did one of these nighttime jobs, and it went horribly. I didn't stand a chance. I immediately got shot. So I retried, and this time I was successfully able to do it and get rewarded for it. And a bit later, I tried to do an arm wrestling competition. And once again, it's another mini game, so I did really poorly. And of course, this is required for one of the outfits, which really sucks because I don't know how to play this. I know you're thinking, oh, just follow the instructions or something. Well, I still don't know how to do it. And I made my way to this guy where I was supposed to deliver $1,000. Now you have two choices: deliver the $1,000 or keep it. You are actually out of your mind if you think I'm going to just deliver it. No, I'm keeping it. So that's another free $1,000. And keep in mind, by this point, I mean, that is like an insane amount of money. That's basically double what I've had in total. But anyways, right after that, I did a bounty. And yeah, it's pretty straightforward. Capture him up. And I made my way back to the funny guy with the accent. And yeah, this was the option where you could either keep the money or give it. I'd actually just kind of delay this option for quite a while. But yeah, eventually, I mean, I'm not going to give this money up. Come on, now it's $1,000. And right after that, I helped out one of the rebels by eliminating all the enemies in this fort and getting this guy onto a boat. He'd eventually end up like the rebel leader or whatever. So I'd come back to a couple of his missions. And on day 37, I went to go meet up with the Mexican army, and I got epically pranked. Who could have saw this coming? So basically, I got taken captive, and but fortunately, you know, the rebels were there, so I got saved. And unfortunately, I wasn't on my Rainbow Six Siege, so I just got completely shot. I wasn't peeking the corner at all, and I just ran through and died right away. But eventually, I was able to get it done, and they had this little speech at the end, so that was nice, I guess. And at nighttime, I had to go set up some like detonators or some bombs and wait for this little convoy to go by, and then just kind of detonate it at the right time. And that was another mission done. I'm really trying to speed through these story missions. Not necessarily because I, want to get it over with. It's just because I want to be able to get all this stuff unlocked for free roam. So I want nothing to be locked. That includes like weapons and stuff like that. So that's kind of why I'm going through this pretty quick. And for this one, I had to take out this general guy that betrayed me, punch him in the face a couple times and then he got shot. So, he's gone now. And yeah, I'll be honest, for day 38, it was a lot of just shooting a lot of guys. That's literally the entire day. I also opened up this little train safe, and I would think I was supposed to have, this is how I'm supposed to get one of the revolvers, but I already have it, so it was pretty much useless. But also I got a full wagon of TNT and blew it up at the last second and jumped out. This was definitely something, but it was to blast open the gate and get into the fort where you just shoot a bunch of guys. Yeah, okay. You saw it coming. And I found Javier, so he was just chilling there. That was kind of a bar. But yeah, I just sniped him. I didn't take him alive. And the last thing I did was defend the fort a little bit. And I delivered the body to Agent Milton. And all I had left was to kill Bill. So as the rebels were just shooting everybody, I was just kind of there. And I'm not really playing a single side. It's just to get Bill. So after taking out this wagon, I had Bill inside, so I shot Bill. And just like that, my job in Mexico was done. So by nighttime, I returned back to the United States. The game was by no means done yet, but that was kind of like one of the main story points done. And right after that, I bought a bandana. Now what this does is when you just commit a crime, your honor will not go down. And also civilians can't identify you, but lawmen can. So it's just kind of something nice to have. It was only $20. And I also did a little bit more hunting. And on day 40, I met up with Milton. And these were kind of the last string of missions here. But I actually got like a 1911 out of them. So that was pretty good. It's like one of the best pistols in the game. And yeah, I kind of took a small break from story missions. I kind of just wanted to, go see what I could find. I was mainly looking for a cougar because I needed it for one of the challenges. So yeah, I mean, from day 40 to day 41, it was a lot of just walking around. Not a whole lot going on, but a little bit of hunting here and there. And that was about it. But on top of that, I did find another outfit piece. And on day 42, I was just trying to look for this cougar, and I thought maybe at nighttime it would be easier to find, or it spawns I don't know, it just spawns more at night. But instead, I found this guy that was tangled up, so I had to cut him free and shoot the guy. And I was trying to take out this guy in the wagon, and he instantly one-shotted me. I don't know how he was able to do that, but I signed him to Face Clan, I guess. I don't know. And it was actually just a bunch more hunting. I did a little hunting challenge. But yeah, for quite a few days, it's just kind of me roaming around, seeing what I could find, and just no cougars. It seems like I'm able to find them so easily when I'm, not looking for them, but when I'm looking for them, I just cannot find them at all. On day 45, I kept looking. Yeah, okay, this is not a lot going on. But I also did a night job at Blackwater. I now had Blackwater unlocked, and I had to capture this guy up. Pretty easy. Capture another guy up. And just like that, that counted towards one of the outfits. The only problem was, once again, obviously these mini games, they're just very hard to do. And on day 42, I met this guy, and this was literally the whole mission. Just talk to him, little small cutscene, and that's the whole mission. But also at night, I ran across the strange man again with the hat. I'm not sure what this guy is supposed to like represent, but you just cannot shoot him. He doesn't die. So, I don't know who this is, but yeah. And I kept looking up like cougar spawn locations. It's around this area, but there were just none to be found. So I just gave up and went back into Blackwater. And I took a look around the stores, and oh my gosh, I did not have the money for this. So I was gonna have to wait. But I did start a story mission where Dutch is like robbing a bank. So I set up shop with a sniper rifle, took out some of the enemies, and then went into the bank. Well, I actually found Dutch. I was not expecting to see him just straight up. I thought it would be like a longer side quest or something like that, but he was right there and he just walked out. So that was, could have shot him, but it's fine. So we had to chase him into the woods, and basically there's a little skirmish. He wasn't actually there, but just some of his guys or whatever. And on day 48, I ran across this doctor guy, and as well as this other guy. He sounded exactly like Dutch.
It's this way, mister.
I don't know if this is meant to be the exact same actor. I'm pretty sure it is, and it doesn't make any sense to have the actor at the same time as the very end of the game, so it makes it sound like Dutch. Anyways, this guy just gets attacked, and he got a little boo-boo on his hand, so he has to quit the mission. So we went up to the hills for like no reason. But I did find a cougar, and I didn't even have enough time to react. He instantly killed me, and I couldn't even pull out the stick of dynamite and blow him up. But you know what? It's all right. And on day 49, I went to go do some arm wrestling, and I failed again. Yeah, okay, I'm never going to get this challenge done. Once again, it's for an outfit, but this is just so hard to do. But I also delivered some TNT, and for this one, all you got to do is bring it to Thieves Landing. And just like that, the mission's done. Very straightforward. And I also made my way to Pike's Basin, where I found the funny man. He was just chilling, getting captured. So I had to take out all the enemies, but unfortunately, I got killed. So this was not the approach, so I went in the start of the little valley, and we tried to work my way up. I mean, that still didn't work. I still got shot, and this time I didn't die. Well, at least from getting shot, it's because I fell off, and I had to retry it again and finally clear out the spot. So that took a couple attempts. And I also tried to cheat in poker. I wasn't ready to center the arrow, and this guy immediately crashed out, and I was challenged to a duel. And I tried to win again. I had no clue what I was doing, and yeah, I just lost. And on day 50, I tried to go attempt this bounty again, where I killed all the guys and was finally able to take them captive. And right after that, I cleared out the hideout on Fort Mercer. Now, I already did this for a mission, but this is completely separate. And I also got the semi-auto pistol. Not super necessary because I already got the better version of it, but I guess it adds to the collection. And on day 51, I went back to just do another hideout. And this was over in Mexico, but for some reason, this took a lot of attempts, so I had to, like, apparently my save was across the entire map, so I had to keep coming back, and it took forever. But anyways, eventually I was able to get it done. And the reason I did this is because the funny man is up here, or whatever, and he finally gives up. He's not going to get captured anymore. But I wanted to try to see if I can get some more outfits. So I did a horse breaking job, and oh my gosh, this game with the knife, I swear, I did it so many times. I was probably doing this for 10 minutes straight trying to figure this out. I'm just not, like, I don't know. I just couldn't do it. So I did probably the most normal thing you could do. Just blow them up and then jump off a cliff. I mean, come on. And once again, I was just trying to get outfits. So I bought a piece of scrap from the general store, which that is literally the easiest one to do. And I met up with this doctor guy again. And this was another one of his, like, I don't know, useless missions. You ride up to the hills again. The same guy who got, like, knifed or whatever. Yeah, he dies, so that's... I mean, who cares? And then you return back to Blackwater. That is literally the whole mission. Nothing happens. That was literally, what was the point of doing that? And on day 53, I met up with this guy again, and I literally got money. I don't even know what I did. All I did was talk to him again, and I got paid. So that's, I guess that's good. And I also did a little bounty, just because this is not, I don't even need to say it. It's nothing interesting, but I thought I'd mention it. And also, I was just kind of riding out, and I found this guy. He was stuck in the, I don't know how this was possible. And yeah, I was just kind of looking around, see what I could find. Where I made my way back to Armadillo, where I read up on this guy who was trying to make a movie. And yeah, I was just kind of looking around, still trying to find that cougar. And somehow I was able to find the cougar. There's literally this guy running out in an open field, getting chased by 2 cougars. So, hey, he got caught in the crossfire, but I got the challenge done. So now all I needed for the expert hunter outfit was to do a little side quest. So on day 55, I made my way to Mexico, and this is where the side quest was. It's this guy trying to make a glider or something like that. I don't know, the same Fortnite, but I was going to need to collect a bunch of items for it. So the first one I needed was crow feathers, or I guess just any kind of feathers. So the first part was pretty easy. It was probably the easiest one to get. Then I went over by tall trees, where I collected some beaver hides. This one was a little more difficult, but they stand out in the snow, so it wasn't that bad. And then I made my way out to New Austin, where I found the red sage. But then during a random encounter, I got killed by this guy. I didn't even see him. He was hiding behind the horse, and guess what? I didn't save, so I have to redo that thing again. So I had to find the feathers again, get the beaver hide, and the red sage. I don't know how it didn't autosave, but I guess it didn't, and I lost all my items. So I was finally able to get it, and on day 58, I returned back to him. And I returned the supplies to him, but I'd have to come back a little bit later because he has to, like, put it together or whatever. So in the meantime, I did a mission where I just sniped a bunch of guys in Blackwater. But I eventually made my way back to this guy, and he just falls off a cliff with the glider. So that didn't work. But I did get the expert hunter outfit. And basically, this doubles your resources when skinning. Now, I wasn't really concerned about the perk you get from getting it. I just kind of wanted to get the outfit. But that definitely can be useful. And on day 59, I just did another story mission. I was getting close to the end here. So for this one, you just had to get on a turret and just shoot. This is like a Modern Warfare mission. But yeah, it's very straightforward. You're just on a single trail, and you shoot a bunch of guys. And you got to make your way through this fort. It's up in this snowy area. It actually took quite a few attempts for me, but I was eventually able to push up into the camp, and I just kind of took a look around, see what I could find. And this is where Dutch was holed up, so I had to chase him throughout the little cavern areas, where I eventually caught up to him, where he, you know, I guess he game ended himself, so that's how he goes out. And that's kind of where I finished the main part of the story of tracking people down, and there's not much of the story left even after this. But I returned back to the ranch with, you got Uncle here, so that's, you gotta love Uncle. Yeah, basically I had to do a couple missions that are less shooting focused, which is definitely nice because a lot of the missions are the same. So here on day 60, I got to bring a bunch of cattle to the ranch, and I thought there would be some sort of skip or something. You know, you get to a certain point, it automatically brings you to the ranch. No, you got to bring these cows all the way from here to the ranch. If they, like, go astray, you got to bring them back. So that was exhilarating. Like, I know I wanted different gameplay, but this is not really what I was hoping for. And I did another, like, trip back to McFarland Ranch, where I dropped off some, like, crops or whatever. And on day 61, I couldn't do one of the missions. Apparently, he had to be there at a certain time. So, yeah, I essentially just skipped the rest of the day so I could be able to do it. I didn't realize that I just need to wait a little bit. So I just kind of wasted the day. But on day 62, I eventually talked to Jack, and we go hunting for an elk. You know me, I'm in FaZe Clan, so it wasn't that hard to hit the elk, but, you know, Jack was just kind of struggling. So that was that. And I had to go out with Uncle to bring the cows out. So another mission with the cows. You know what? that's fine, I guess. And for the next one, I had to go hunt some wolves that were in the, like, taking out the cattle. These guys were in tall trees, and the next day, Jack ran up on a bear and had to, like, help him out. So it was pretty easy, just take him down with a shotgun. And, oh my gosh, horse breaking is so difficult. I don't know what I was doing. I don't actually know the strategy on how to do this. I just go, like, left or right, and hopefully it works. But I was getting sick of doing this. Like, I was doing this for 10 minutes. I just crash out, you know? Just shoot all the horses. I don't, you know what I'm saying? Skin the horses. I don't care. But yeah, I eventually returned back, and this would end up being John's last mission here. We return back to the farm, and a bunch of the feds show up, and yeah, this was gonna happen anyways. If John was a part of the gang, you know, he's got to go too. So that was that. You just try to shoot as many as you can. This doesn't make any difference either way. John's still gonna die, and just like that, you make the final stand with a dead eye, and yeah, you just kind of get. Yeah, you get me all down, man. It's rough. And just like that, it's the end of John Marston's act. And then that's when the game swaps over to Jack. Now, I prefer John, but this will now mean everything will be unlocked, which means essentially the rest of the game is kind of like a free roam mode, but there are some side quests to do. So I definitely was not done. On day 64, I took a look at the gunsmith, and everything was just so expensive. So I definitely did not have the money for that yet. And I also talked to this Fed guy. I was trying to track down Ross, and he gave me information on where he could be. But for now, I would just do a quick bounty. So there's nothing special about that. You know, day 65, I looked over all the outfits I needed to get. I was really trying to get as many as I could for the rest of the 100 days, but it was definitely going to be a struggle. So I decided to just start now. One of them that's super easy is just check a location. And I also tried to rob a bank. I thought I would get some money out of this. So I shot the window, jumped over it, and I cracked open one of the safes, and this was disappointing. I got no money out of this. If anything, it's worse because you have the wanted level, so you basically just, like, lose money. There's no point in even doing this. So now I would have a bounty. And on day 66, I went to go help this guy out, and this was for one of the quests to get one of the outfits. So for this one, I had to go find a white stallion, and I almost immediately found it. Was able to tame the horse, and I brought him back to the guy. This is just, like, part 1 of 2. It's a very short quest overall, so I'd eventually return back to him. And on day 67, I also did this quest called California. You don't even do anything. You just kind of talk to this guy. He shows up a couple more times. But hey, that's a free quest done. And I also had this next outfit. It was kind of unique. I had to beat all the hideouts in the US in only the span of a 24-hour like in-game cycle, so one day. I don't know why I need to explain that. I think you figured that out. So the first one I had to deal with was Gaptooth Ridge. Now this one actually was kind of a struggle, but eventually I was able to get it done. And right after completing it, my horse does this.
Is this serious?
So yeah, I had to go over to Tumbleweed, clear out all the place there, and eventually got that done. And fortunately, somebody else's horse was here, so I just stole that, and I made my way over to Fort Mercer, where I cleared out all the guys there, and I got the treasure room, which you get a ton of money out of that, which is actually really nice. Made my way to Twin Rocks, did the same thing, nothing special here. And finally, at the last one, Pike's Basin, I made my way there, shot all the guys, and just like that, that was another outfit done. On day 68, I finished this mission with this one guy. I don't know. That was an easy part of the outfit done. And also, might as well mention this, I ran up on this guy again. On day 69, I decided to, I gotta try to figure out how to do this poker thing. So I went to Armadillo. Honestly, I still have no idea really what I'm doing, but if there's anything with pear in it, I kind of just go for it. So I don't know how, but eventually after a bit of time, I was able to get all the people out and actually finally get this done for the outfit. And on day 70, I was supposed to do this liar's dice thing, but I have no clue how to do it. I would never end up doing it during the 100 days because I just don't know how to play it. I looked up a video and it was way too confusing, so I just gave up on that. I went to go do poker in Blackwater. This was also a part of an outfit, and it was a higher stakes because it was just more money. But somehow, you know, I was able to do the same thing. I got everybody out and completed another part of the outfit. And on day 72, I continued with this guy's California mission, but I did have a horse, so I just had to walk all the way there. So this guy was still freaking out. I don't know what his problem is. But anyways, on day 73, I made my way back to Fort Mercer. Well, I just went back to the treasure room. I mean, this gets you so much money, so I thought I might as well come back here, you know, get a little bit of free money. And after that, I was past $4,000. And I also decided to do this treasure map again. I got it at like the very beginning of the game, but I kind of just completely forgot about it. So for the next few days, I would just be going all the way around the map, getting all the treasures I needed. It did take quite a while, but finally on day 76, I was able to get the last piece I needed, and I sold all of them off, which got me an insane amount of money. And oh yeah, also on day 77, this was the last California mission. This guy is just dead. So yeah. And I also tried to do blackjack, but I had no clue what I was doing, so I just would end up leaving this. But I went to go do the high stakes poker game in Blackwater, which you need like a little like outfit to get in. But yeah, you have a lot more money on the line with this one, but you could also earn a lot more money with this. This is where I become like an addict, basically, if we're being honest. It's only upsides. There's basically no downsides except for, you know, when you lose money, but hey, you just gamble more to make more money back. So I eventually left the poker table with quite a lot of money. And I wanted to get the Savvy Merchant because you get half off of everything on the gunsmith. And since everything at the gunsmith is very expensive, I was definitely going to need this, especially the explosive rifle, which is $5,000 normally, which is pretty much unaffordable. And I also went back to gambling. One thing about this is I need $1,000 worth of gambling, or I need to make $1,000 profit. So this was going to take a little bit. Hey, but honestly, I'm already addicted. So actually, I was kind of hyped for this. It's fine. And on day 80, I was able to get $1,000 worth of gambling, or money made from gambling. And also I needed to execute 20 people. I just had to look up how to do this and look up what the best way to do it was. And all you have to do is go to Thieves Landing, get a bandana, and just stab people. There's no police here, so you won't have to worry about getting wanted. So yeah, that was pretty much the whole day. And on day 81, I had to pick a bunch of flowers. So that was the whole day of that. I just have to get like $200 worth of herbs, which is actually a huge grind, but eventually I'll get it done. And I also did this little side quest. And for this one, you have to go find this guy at a bar and just gun him down the street. I don't know how you don't get wanted for this, but I guess if you both agree, then I guess it's fine. And out of that, I got $200 delivered back to this woman. And, you know, that was like a side quest to activate another side quest later. And, yeah, on day 83, the entire day was just picking flowers. So that's nothing going on there. But on day 84, I went to go try to do this freaking hand thing where you have to whatever. Yeah, I just gave up on that. Shot the guy and died. This is the dumbest game ever. But on day 85, I went to go do the Prohibitionist. I think I said that right. Well, side quest. And for this, it was part of an outfit. And all you have to do is really just talk to this guy. And essentially, you're done with the mission. I think I failed it, though, because the prices went up on, like, alcohol and rooms. So I think I messed up, but yeah, whatever. And anyways, with that, I went to the gunsmith, and I could pretty much get what I wanted since everything was so much cheaper. On day 86 and 87, I spent the entire time just gambling. So that was actually pretty fun. But on day 88, there were plenty of challenges I had to do. So not only outfits, but also challenges. And since many of the challenges were kind of locked behind mini games that I just don't know how to do, I thought I might as well do some challenges. So one of them was go on top of a train and just shoot some birds. And on day 89, one of them was to shoot the weapons out of enemies' hands. This one was a little more difficult. You got to be kind of precise, but if you have Deadeye, it's not too bad. And on day 90, I was trying to do the exact same thing, shoot all the enemies' weapons out of their hands, but I just couldn't do it. And also on day 92, I was just gambling. This is the entire day. Once again, I still don't really know how to play, but I just kind of go off of if I have a pair and then kind of just see how good the pair is. Or I should say how good the cards are, and then just go all the way pretty much. But yeah, a lot of the last week or so is just kind of doing random side quest stuff, like picking flowers and stuff like that, which is for the survivalist medal, or doing some weird hunting challenge like meleeing some wolves for a part of the hunting challenge. I don't know. So I'm basically just going to skip over everything till day 100. It's all essentially the same thing. You just do a bunch of random grinding, getting flowers, hunting, whatever. But here on day 100, I finally was ready to finish the Red Dead story. So I found this person at a lake who gave me directions to where Ross's brother was. And then after finding Ross's brother, he told me to go down the river a little ways, where I found Agent Ross. And all you have to do is engage in a duel. And just like that, the story was finished. Thank you so much for watching today's video. If you guys enjoyed, make sure you like and subscribe because there's plenty more content to come. And let me know what kind of videos you guys want to see next because I'm definitely willing to listen to comments for new video ideas. And with all that being said, I'll see you guys in the next one.